everyone. Ryan Miller from Housefox Studios, Black Reno, Cold Etiquette, doing another live session with you. Before we introduce the band, thanks again, as always, to Thetamorph Media for putting all the videography and everything together. Epic crew, and also Bucketty's Beer, brewery straight across the road here in Brookvale. Sick people making sick beer. It's great. So with that out of the way, look, King Parrot on the couch over here. Welcome, guys.
G'day, mate.
Hi.
G'day. So we fucking just laid down Disgrace Yourself.
Yeah.
Well, sick. Good times.
Yeah.
Frankie's last night. First show back in a year, I guess.
60 weeks, mate.
60 weeks,
What was it?
to be precise.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 Time. First Sydney Frankie stand-up show since
Out of restrictions,
the relaxation, yeah?
Yep, I believe so.
There was certainly no social distancing going on, that's for sure,
Oh,
last night. No, it was good.
It was fucking mental.
Hopefully we
Everyone
don't get him in trouble for saying that, but it was fucking great.
well, I think it's fine, but yeah, fuck, everyone was just climbing over. Everyone, basically. It was a proper pit, and I'm sure it felt pretty good to be back in that scenario once again.
And did. We were just saying before that
It's all, mate.
it didn't feel like any time had really passed, like when we were playing, you know. It didn't feel like any time had passed in that last year, even though we hadn't even really seen each other for a year until a couple of weeks ago, you know. When we got back up there last night, it was like,
Like the second we hit the stage as a unit, it was like nothing had ever changed.
yeah, it was just, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, in the fucking lead up, my old bones was screaming.
Yeah.
Screaming blue matter. I'm no
Still
spring
are, mate.
chicken, man. It takes some energy to get going again these days.
A few little massages backstage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Off we go.
That's imperative.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, frick, I mean, like, it's pretty hard for you guys to get together and work on shit because you, like most bands, everyone's sort of in the background working on stuff, but Toddy being up in Brizzy,
Fuck,
you
virtually
guys-
impossible, mate.
Yeah.
I reckon there was at least 5 instances through the year where we'd had flights booked, and then either Melbourne would flare up or fucking Brizzy would, and should have had a fucking album written by April.
yeah. Well, were you guys thinking of doing, like, before
Yeah.
all this shit kicked in? I'm sure you guys had started
we
working
got-
on something,
we got
right?
half-written tunes all over the joint.
Yeah, after Japan, I reckon we had about 10 sessions, sort of jams, like, organised, you know, and just got shut down.
But yeah, there's definitely
good times.
about...
Really, no, that's no excuse, is it? We're lazy
Well-
cunts. We could have fucking utilised that whole COVID time to...
Need the drummer in the room, mate.
Mate, Dropbox each other.
Yeah, it's never really been
nah.
our strong point.
Nah,
It's not the
you need
vibe
that
I'd go with
energy.
either,
Some
to
fucking
be honest.
smashing the bucket eyes.
But I had to look on my files and all the shit that we've been sending each other over the last couple of years since we did the last record, you know, and there's probably about 13 or 14 songs that we've got that we've mucked around with or demoed in one sort of form or another. So hopefully, you know, we can get together a little bit more this year if all this bullshit subsides, and we can get back to playing some shows and jamming a little bit more and writing some new tunes and getting them finished off and recording a new record.
Yeah, sick. Do you have any sort of idea timeline-wise? Like, I guess now you feel a bit more confident booking a flight for Toddy to come down and jam it out in the room with you in Melbs.
Ask Scott Morrison, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
It's still fucking, it's still...
yeah, I don't know, but we plan to. We celebrating 10 years as a band, you know, so we want to do a 10-year anniversary tour for the rest of this year, and just maybe do a weekend or a month and get stuck into it.
Are we picking this up?
Yeah, what is the
Hang on.
What's the
Hang on,
corpse
hang on,
think
hang on.
about all this?
Is he snoring?
He's not.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even breathing.
Oh, you breathing?
No, his belly's moving.
Is it? I think he's in a coma, induced coma.
The corpse
Well, not
knows
self-
I remember
Self-induced
keep fucking
coma.
talking.
He's had a big weekend. He's a bit tucked
big
out,
couple
the
of
guy.
weeks.
You know?
Oh, big year, mate.
Big year, big year.
Big massive year.
So split it up over weekends and book things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be tricky booking tour once. Like,
Yeah, well, last year we had the Thrash Blast Grind thing planned for May with
Yeah,
Exhumed and Theories from the States and coming over, and it all basically went to shit in May, and so we had to cancel all of that, and and then we were originally going to try and do a full tour in June, but we just thought maybe it's a bit risky to go through do all that work and put everything into it, and then like we go to say Perth or something, and they go, "Oh no, you can't travel."
Especially when you
have
got
to
all those
quarantine."
flights.
Yeah, and all the So
Yeah,
we
Virgin
just,
don't really pay interest for the cash you give them.
yeah.
No. Well, that's what we like. That's why for this tour we booked coming up for us is, it's like it's a weekend to driving to Melbourne for one weekend, drive the next weekend driving to Queensland, and then the rest is just New South Wales stuff. And it's like spaced out over 7 weeks. So if something fucks up, you might miss a weekend or something, but you're not like going, oh, we had like 7 nights booked in 1 week where you got to fly between each one, or
Exactly.
not doing Perth, unfortunately, not doing Adelaide, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But just we don't want to pay for the tickets.
What does the
basically.
corpse think about all this? Just as I
Well said.
suspected.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
better,
no,
to,
and duly noted too. I mean,
better to drop a weekend than a whole tour.
yeah.
That's the idea, I think, and it just seems. I mean, it's not like we're doing anything overseas. No one's going anywhere. No one's traveling to America or Europe or anywhere. So
For fucking ages.
Or it just feels a bit more easier to just ease into it rather than go, like a bull at a gate as we probably usually would.
Fucking oath. Yeah, sick. But with overseas touring too, I wouldn't mind like hearing some stories, some crazy shit that's happened. Like you guys have got a pretty wild bunch of tours that you've done with like insane bands. What are some moments you can sort of share with us that you've just been going?
Probably none.
Oh no, like like where you're just sitting there going, what the fuck? How did we end up here? Or
Oh man, this is, I don't.
stuck at like by the side of the road freaking out, or
Yeah.
good and bad, whatever
Squeeze you
you've
off the
got for
fucking
me.
ferry from
That's
Stockholm,
every
and
single
Helsinki.
time someone says that. I'm just like, they have this
It's not
horrible
funny.
story that we were in Stockholm, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to tell it, Squiz.
It's okay, mate. And
You
He
told me
gave
too
us-
many
No,
times,
but
have
It's
you?
not all
he
right.
gave
I'll
me.
correct you though, because I think you might be a little off the mark. on
Yeah,
some of
I
the points.
reckon because I've told it so many times, I probably added a bit of bullshit just to make it sound better.
That's all right.
But
Add a little extra today.
never let it, the truth get in the way of a good yarn. Yeah. But we were catching the overnight ferry. There's a ferry from Stockholm to Helsinki,
Yeah.
and there was a
What tour was this?
This was we were touring with Soulfly and Insight and Lodicon, which is the
well, that's
Cavaliera
right.
clan.
Yeah.
All the Cavaliera family were on it, and we were heading over. It was the last couple of shows we were in Finland, and obviously we had never been there before. And there's a nightclub and a pub on the boat, and I think. Everyone was drinking. All our crew were drinking, and everyone was getting real loose. And this guy especially was
You know what?
incredibly loose.
I
Maybe you
wasn't.
tell the story, Squizzy.
I'll tell you the story and how it all evolved.
Go.
Even though I must say,
Take over.
from the outset, too many questions and bright lights takes me back to an uncomfortable time in my juvenile history. Like police station wise and shit.
Where were you on the 27th
In any case,
of
that's a different
Tell
story.
us more about that.
1943?
Yeah. Nah, that would have been the early 80s. But in any case, I wasn't trying to drink on this ferry trip.
It was my fault.
Everyone else thought, fuck it, I'll take this opportunity to get fucking hammered. And I, for whatever reason, I think I'd just been fucking told off or gotten in trouble for overdoing it earlier in the tour. So I was trying really hard to stay cool. But as you do when you're surrounded by a bunch of drunken bums and mates all having a blast, you think, fuck it. I threw the towel in and started playing catch up on spirits, which is my worst enemy. And so before I don't know, everyone vanished, and then I found myself dancing around the bar with these two German weirdos, like hugging each other and carrying on. And I fell over and I split my lip on the corner of a table that went straight, bang, bashed me fucking face in. So I had this gaping wound and blood spewing out all over me. Made my way back to our cabin where the corpse was inhabiting my bed space, and that infuriated me. And so I started
I
screaming.
can't imagine that.
Started screaming blue murder This guy wakes up thinking I'm trying to kill him or some shit, tries to have a go at me. You did. You did.
You were fucking threatening to bash him while he was asleep.
In any case, I fucking got arseholed out of the room and wandered the halls of the ferry all night like a fucking ghost until I could find somewhere to lay down where a kind cabin boy took pity on me and offered me up my very own cabin.
Yeah.
In fact, hang on though, before I got there, is this where I was breakdancing in my underpants?
Yeah,
and you
man.
just go
I've got
forward?
the video
Yeah,
of it
it was
somewhere.
All right, okay.
If you've got the video, can we insert that?
Oh, you can look for it.
Can you find it?
No, that's going to cost you.
But, I
Okay,
was
so
in
there's
there.
a discotheque on the ferry, and
We'll try
apparently
find
I wandered down there smothered in blood, reminiscing the 80s fucking hip hop era, trying to do backspins on a fucking undulating ferry.
We were sitting in the audience, and Squizzy's like, basically, I'm going to get out there. I'm sitting next to some Russian guy who couldn't speak a word of English, but his laugh. So Squizzy's just dropped his dax, left his pants hanging over the thing, and he's trying to break dance on the dance floor. Security's like, who's
Dropped all Dax or just
Oh no, he had his undies on.
undies? Oh, yeah.
And this Russian guy's just sitting next to me going, ah, ha, 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 ha. And like you could hear the dude laughing over the music. And I was laughing more at the guy laughing and at Squiz.
Oh, man.
I got the video somewhere. It's hilarious.
Shit. And in any case, after that, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
after
fast forward and then ferry
So
fucking
I
pull,
conked
ferry
out in my
pulls
own
up,
cabin, the oblivious to everything. The ferry pulls up at the other side, and I don't know how long I must have been out for.
Well, we get off the ferry
Everyone else
and then
falls
hear
off.
the story from Youngie about his point of view of him trying to slaughter the corpse. And then, so we think Squizzy's cracked the shits and fucking jumped overboard. Because we've been sitting there in the car. The
How
ferry's
many
pulled up,
hours was the
like
ferry
an
docked
hour and a
for?
half, and I'm walking around the fucking whole thing, virtually on the point of fucking breakdown. Thinking
Yeah, we were
fucking
panicking.
lost
Oh,
it.
yeah, no, like you've gone over, like literally
Oh,
fallen.
mate, it's
yeah.
been, and then and then we
I'm
get in the
oblivious
car
to
with
this.
So you're
us.
just cruising
Yeah,
along.
making phone
I
calls
was
and then
standing
comes
down the gangplank,
cruising.
going, "G'day, boys."
We were like,
And all was
literally, me and Ari got off the boat with the bus, and we were there, and we were in absolute panic because we thought that when we saw him, he was that drunk that he might have just fallen off into the Swedish Ocean or whatever it's called up there,
Cold.
and just like because you could easily just fall off if you were.
Yeah, fucking shit face, stumbling around with a massive
knows.
fucking.
And no
cutting
one
of-
would ever know, and I'm
bottom
sure it's
there.
happened before, you know.
Yeah.
And but we were in a panic, and then all of a sudden he comes out, absolutely disheveled, hair everywhere, blood all over his face,
Love it,
staggering, laughing, and we're just like, "Fuck you, man!" Like what the?
And here we are. Yeah, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
and the show was good in Helsinki.
Yeah.
And then we
That was
drove.
the last show, wasn't it?
No, and then we drove up to
Some other Finnish.
There was one other one.
yeah,
There was
one
other
other
show.
one right up. It's like up near the Russian
Fuck,
border.
we were
there.
supposed to go across to St. Petersburg,
Yeah.
Russia. It was going to be my birthday and fucking
Yeah, but
couldn't get on the train. Or anyway,
we went up
Sorry.
there. We went right up 8 hours north of Helsinki, and it
Yeah,
was
it's
like there's
sick.
about 15 inches of snow or something. It was crazy, just like full on minus 10 or something. And
What was it like touring with Max?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Great experience.
That would have been like. you
loves
know, it's
music,
fucking-
that dude.
That's just teenage fucking years, like just like all growing up music, you
Yeah.
know, like what the fuck,
Yeah.
you know, moment.
I was stoked and amazed, still am, that I got to wake up on his lounge room floor after filling the joint
Yeah.
with fucking burrito gas all night.
Sitting in the fucking spa with him talking about Australian crust. Loves fucking music, that dude.
Yeah.
it's
Just like a proper
Loves
genuine
punk.
fan, loves all sorts
loves
of shit.
punk, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Loves his
Very
hardcore
cool.
punk.
I did a song with him on the
Oh yeah,
Soulfly record, and
yeah,
that was a spin out.
yeah. Fuck,
Yeah.
that's
He came to
In
one
the
of we were
jacuzzi
touring with
fucking Max Cavalier.
Weed Eater, and he bought the whole tribe to our show with Weed Eater in Phoenix.
That's right.
And he come out and
General Call.
gave us
Finnish ferries and beyond.
that's it.
gave us a rundown of the song that we were going to do. Took me out to his car and that, and put it on and sang the song and all that. And then
Yeah.
the next day,
Parking lot.
Squizzy and I went to LA, and
Because you were saying when you rocked in there, like you walked into some studio and the dudes from the Deftones. I mean, you
Yeah.
told me about this before.
Yeah.
And you're rocking in to do your vocals.
Matt
and
Hyde.
Yeah, Matt Hyde's studio.
Yeah, he's in there
At
fucking
his house.
doing his. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you're like, all right, get out. I gotta get in and do some vocals or something.
Yeah, pretty much that's what happened. And they all sat around and swam in his pool.
I
And,
didn't know who it was.
yeah, and but yeah, that was amazing. He had the best headphones I've ever used.
Oh yeah,
That Matt Hyde,
Matt set up.
producer guy, he's done a lot of crazy stuff, and Squiz and I just rocked in there and just hung out, and it was pretty cool. He had these
I went for a
powered
swing that day,
headphones
that was great.
that you could. They were just incredible, and we just smashed
Speaking of the
out songs.
Deftones, what about that time you guys all went to fucking Waterworld on that Aussie tour? And
Yeah.
I don't know,
Wet
I
and
wasn't
Wild.
there, but someone I think
Wet and Wild.
Wet and Wild. You
On
tell
that
the
tour
story.
with Disgrace and Havoc. Oh, I can't really.
Oh, I
What
think it
happened,
was the
fucking-
Corpse fucking organised
Yeah,
it.
he called it in and said we were the fucking Deftones. Oh, we're on. Some shit. And they
Called in
just
there,
got
Wet and
20 of
Wild.
us in for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, and they
Free
thought,
rides. There was no cut there. Just running up and down 5 hours on concrete.
But you just rang up and said you were the Deftones. Is that what you're saying? The Corpse
Something-
did?
yeah.
Slice
Rang
it.
up and said, oh yeah, we're the Deftones. We're coming in. Can you
Slatty
fucking
spun some
hook us
fucking
up? And they hooked you up.
yeah.
Yeah,
And they didn't catch on.
No.
Like when you guys
We just
didn't
said,
walk in
don't
and go,
post any media or
G'day
anything.
guys, how you going? You're like, fuck, how are you cunts, you know? Like, it's not half obvious.
what are you saying?
I'm saying we don't have American accents. That's what I'm saying. None of
Oh,
us
but
do.
Havoc would have had American accent.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah,
That was
okay.
the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Havoc, Deftones, they're all American, same shit.
Yeah.
Another good Squizzy story. We were leaving a show and he was busting for a shit. And it's like, nah, pull over, I got a shit. So we're on the side of, like, at the gate of this fucking
Farm, wasn't it?
farm. And
Where
he's
was
just,
this? What
Oh,
tour?
in the States.
oh, I was in the States with Origin, I
Somewhere
think.
in Vermont, maybe.
And he's just there, he's like squatting on the ground, pants down,
In the middle of the
diarrheaing
night.
on the ground. And we're all like taking photos and filming, and he's like, fuck off.
Didn't I have that? Yeah, come on, give
I
me
got
a
that on
fucking
camera somewhere too,
moments,
I think.
Moments grace, for fuck's sake. But didn't I have like brand new white Nike high tops on and
Got him.
just splattered fucking shite all over the joint?
Wow.
Yeah, from that fucking.
And that was the thing. My shoes had blown out on that tour, and
Wasn't
we,
that
and we
thrift
went to that
store?
record store,
But,
and they
yeah,
said we've
that's
had
right.
these pair of shoes in here for fucking 20 years. No one's bought them. You can have them. Brand new white
Air Force,
Nike high
Air Force,
tops. Yeah.
fucking, yeah.
So they gave them to me, and I've still got them. But
Shit and all.
yeah.
What a country.
There's the other one in Canada where it was like, fuck it, whoever's driving's like, I gotta stop, pull up, everyone hops out for a piss. It's like, is that Aurora
Oh,
Borealis?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of standing there in the field, pissing, looking at the fucking
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's
Aurora
amazing.
Borealis.
Very fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Northern
was
Lights.
cool.
That was sick.
It's fucking awesome.
I can't remember where was that?
So
I
that
think
was in
we're- I think we're-
Saskatchewan, in Canada.
Yeah.
Opened,
Yeah.
And how's this last little EP that you guys put out just recently? Like, you had these tracks sitting in there in the vault for like 3 years unreleased.
Well,
with the
they
album
were
was
really-
7
they
inch.
were just demos, really.
Yeah, they still are,
Essentially.
effectively.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unpolished.
We just put it out
Good.
Yeah.
because we didn't have anything else to do. We were
Fuck,
bored.
why not? Well, man,
Yeah.
like the world's fucking stopped, so
Yeah.
perfect time to throw something out like that. But it's
Yeah.
sick. Are you going to rework those for something, or they're sort of out now? So
Originally, we were going to rework them for the next album, but now it's out. It was fucking
just
leave
leave it as it is and
Right,
go on
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it's cool. That was just like
Because you guys literally
Bit of
made
a
those
spot
within
fire at the end of
4
the tour,
days,
really.
like wrote
Yeah.
to record them, right?
we had like
it was
a
an
week to
experiment
kill
in that sense,
between an American tour and going to the UK or something. So we just
Yeah.
jammed and wrote 4 songs and recorded
Yeah.
them. and
A
that
record
was
of
it.
time. There you go.
Yeah, we just had everything set up in the studio, ready to record. We were just writing, and we just did it all in about 4 or 5 days, and that was that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And literally came up with the riffs like you didn't have those
That
riffs.
week.
Nothing,
like,
yeah,
it
that
is
was that week.
totally
Walked in with
spontaneous
nothing,
that week.
Came out with 4 songs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
fucking
cool.
cool, man.
Yeah, it was a good fun experiment to do, and you know, like after they were remixed and mastered and everything like that, we were just like, yeah, let's just do it, you know, let's just put something out.
Yeah, I guess that's my point. You know, you're saying about Dropbox because we can't jam and all that. Once we can get in the room for a couple of days straight, it fucking just starts flowing. You know,
It's good
So-
having that like clock on, like, you know, making you make decisions as opposed to
Yeah.
you know, like, it's an interesting
too.
experiment,
Too much
like you
freedom-
say,
too
like,
much
you know, like,
freedom
all
can
right,
really-
let's write this riff, and whatever fucking riff is written in the next 4 hours, that's what it is, because that's all we've got. You know? It's a cool fucking thing to
There
do.
was a bit of that too, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and in the past, like when we've been writing and stuff, usually what we'll do is like go somewhere. Like all of us will just go somewhere, and we've been up to like Bribey Island in Queensland a few times, and
What was that dude's name?
Just hang out for
Mick,
a week or two or whatever, and
Nick
just
Hogan.
Oh, what a
yeah.
legend.
Just no distractions so you can focus and
just
Heaps
to
of pies,
tune in on
mate.
what we're doing.
Heaps of
Yeah.
reflux.
Yeah. Beefies.
Beefy.
Yeah, there's a pie shop right
Better get a
nearby
free
called
fucking
Beefy's.
pie
That
out of this
every
one.
morning we go into Beefy's pie shop and
Get
absolutely pig out and
$20.
then jam.
that's the way to do it. Because you're definitely a band that wants to get in the room and jam
Yeah,
together when you
pop,
write
man.
music, eh? Like,
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Oh, we're like that, 100%. We can't do it any other way.
Struggle any other way, really.
Yeah.
Heaps of bands now do it that way, where it's
funny,
like,
huh?
someone wants to riff and sends it, and they're, oh, that's cool, and someone puts the beat over it, and it's like, yeah, cool. But it's not like it's good to a point, but it's not the same as just being in a room and
Some genres of
Right.
music, it sure, it kind of makes sense too, I guess, but like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I
I
don't know,
used-
like programming drums and then send the file over and then. Well, we almost tried to do that
Different strokes, different folks, all that
yeah,
shit, you know,
exactly.
like,
We tried to do
yeah,
that for
it's not
like
work for us.
one night, and then we just went like when COVID hit and it was hard to get together. I was like, oh, maybe we just program some drums and write some riffs over that, and we sat there and started doing it, and I was just like, no,
Yeah.
fuck this.
Yeah, it's never been a thing for us.
No,
Although Slats has sent quite a few demos through that he does at home, and he puts some like shitty garage band drums on it. But it's never more than, you know.
but
it's
that's
never-
just getting
that's just
ideas
getting
down.
the
That's
idea,
like,
yeah.
fuck, hey, check this idea out,
Yeah.
learn this riff, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So, yeah,
That's
man.
fucking- and what are some moments where you've just like also just been like, how the fuck, you know, like venues and things you've played, like that where you've just been, how are we here, or
Yeah.
how did, you know what I mean? Like those moments where you
Oh,
just
mate,
go,
yeah.
you're pinching yourself, you know, like
yeah, the
fuck.
Fillmore in fucking is it San Fran. or
Yeah,
whatever?
San
the
Francisco.
Fillmore Theatre.
Yeah.
It's some, you know, it's a
Put
legendary
down.
music hall.
Yeah, fucking oath, that's huge.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Everyone's
Zappa.
played there.
Yep.
Yeah, old fucking Hendrix posters on the
The
wall.
Cypress Hill
One
did a
of the
live
greats.
album there.
Can't play there, you know.
Was
Yeah,
that was
pretty
was
sick.
that Soulfly?
Even that first
No,
show in the
it's
States,
down.
man. Like
Damn,
at the
yeah.
what was that joint in on Sunset there? Not Sunset in West
Oh,
Hollywood.
fucking
The Whiskey Go-Go.
No,
Whiskey
first
and
show- first show
Go-Go,
in the
yeah, some
States, mate.
legendary joint.
That was the first show in the States, wasn't it? No, we did Fresno, not
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, it was the second
Second
time.
show, mate. Fucking whiskey. How you going?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just thought it
Did
was.
we do that again with Voivod?
Yeah, we played a couple of times. Yeah,
we've
yeah.
done it like three. We did it
Three or
with Devil Driver and bloody Super
Devil
Joint as
Driver.
well.
Yeah, we played there a few times.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny, like the first tour we did in the States was like, we did a few shows with Cattle Decapitation, we did like a few shows in California, and then we sort of drove through the desert down to Texas, and we played at South by Southwest, and that was cool. And then we went and did this big like 40-date tour of America.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And we headlined with Vatnet, Visca, and Vaporizer.
45 and 49, mate. 45 shows.
and I've
49
actually got
days.
the tattoo from that with the
Yeah, I got
band
a fucking in
logos
and out.
all. But there was some nights on that tour where we were like, no one really knew who we were or anything like that. So we played some shows that were really shit. You know, we played to 3 people and
Shows
10
were killer.
people.
Not many can't see it, but it was
Yeah,
fucking
but then
unreal.
we had some really good nights as well. But you know, like it can really wear on you when you're doing shows and there's no one there, show after show after show, day after day. But it was like that year we did that tour, and then we did
Just
South
love
by
it.
South, and then we did Origin. We toured with Origin, the technical death band from the States, and then we played at Housecore Horror Fest. And then, like right at the end of that year, we ended up touring with Down and Orange Goblin, and that's where we played at the Fillmore and a whole bunch of really cool
Classy
venues.
fucking joints.
You know, like really
joints, yeah.
proper venues. So we like kind of went from playing like the shittiest little
All on
dive
the same
bars,
tour though.
all in the
Same
same year,
run,
in the
yeah.
same,
Oh, same year,
in
sorry,
the same
yeah.
year.
We
We
went
did,
over there 3 times.
yeah, we did 3 different tours that year, and
What year was that? That's like 2014.
14,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and that was just like it was pretty. We played at the Wilton in LA, and I remember playing at the Wilton, which is this really schmick theater, and there was like lots of heavy metal celebrity dudes and that there, and it was just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, like what's that feeling like? When you, because when you, especially when you're first doing that, like
Yeah.
What's that feeling like, man? It must be amazing.
Yeah, well, it was better than playing to 3 people.
Yeah. You know.
But it's good to have both experiences, you know, because
Well, you don't get one without the other because
Yeah.
there's no such thing,
yeah.
really.
And I think the way we approach it always is just fucking go full tilt every show, no matter how many
3 or
people are there.
3,000, you know, so
Yeah.
I reckon.
It's always the same approach for us, you know.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. Well, it has to be because that's how it's fun.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. It just is. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unless there's headphones on our heads, it's pretty much like the same way in the jam. Isn't it? So,
Yeah.
But you did well with headphones on your head, mate.
it's fun. My ears got a bit warm, but you know.
That's the beautiful
grab
part. It's the
another
tingle. Yeah, man. I got some here for you, bro.
Oh, look, mate, it's sitting right there, mate. Take a
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Yeah, I'll take the empty for you, hey?
All right. Okay. Let's get gas bagging then, shall we?
Gas
What's the corpse
bagging.
got to say on the matter? Just as I suspected.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck, awesome. All right, well, I know you guys are getting on a flight pretty soon, so we might wrap that up there.
That's
you got to
fine.
get to the airport.
Fucking wrap that up. Shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's good to be on it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Fucking, we'll leave it at that.
I'm looking forward to
Before
leaving.
we go, we do every one of these things is like give a plug, a shout out to bands that we see around our scene, some of the up and comers or just the cool ones we know that, you know,
Shit, I
that are
don't
fucking,
see
you know,
it.
getting you red hot and getting you excited. Like, who are the bands that you guys have been seeing? I mean, it's been a little while, so a lot of shows, but who are the local bands in the scene that deserve a mention and a bit of love?
There's this band from Sydney. They're called Black Reno. I don't know if you.
Fucking shit, mate. Those cunts.
Yeah. Hey.
Fucking Mick.
Fuck. There hasn't been. There is no scene. What happened? The scene's
No.
dead. Like I don't
Well,
know.
we just put a beer
Nah,
out.
there's a
haven't
scene, man.
Oh,
There's always
grind-
a scene. There's
grind-
always a
grind
scene.
Yeah, there's a really cool band in Melbourne
brought a
called
beer out too.
Grindhouse, which are great.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, big mix of a legend. I've known him for years, and he's just put a beer out called Wank. It's called Wank, and I think you should.
I got some
Get
young fucking up and coming grinders that blew me fucking tits off. They go by the name of Chuff. They're nothing to do with Stone
Is that
Rock,
the
I'll
old
agree.
Kahuna boys?
I think it may be, but
Yeah, yeah. It's got nothing to do with that though.
Christ, yeah, they've got this deceptively fucking groovy song, which sort of, you know, you think's gonna fucking evolve into some kind of stoner epic motherfucker, and then they just fucking rip in, you grind your fucking face off before you know what's going on.
Sick.
Chuff, check
What
them
about
out.
up in Brizzy, Todd? What's going on?
Man, I haven't really been to any gigs for so long. There's a sick band called Fuck that play out there.
I like that band Descent. You know Descent?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Descent, yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
They've
they're a
they've
cool
actually
band
got
from Brisbane.
They've actually got another album in the works.
Yeah.
I went and had to listen to it after they tracked it. That was sounding really cool.
Yeah, there's this band from Melbourne called. I saw a video of them playing the other day. They're called Gutless, and I thought that's a fucking good band name.
Oh, they played the oldie.
Yeah. I saw that was the video that I saw, and I was like, "Fuck, that sounds cool." Yeah, there's a couple of bands. There's a band called Defenestration from Melbourne.
Yeah,
They're
you
really
showed me
good.
those guys.
Yeah.
We were going to play with them on the last
Yeah.
one, but then it got cancelled.
Yeah,
And then, yeah. No, I think that they changed
Yeah,
singers or something. There was
Defenestration,
something
great
happened with them. They changed vocals, but they're sick, man.
yeah, they're a
Totally,
good band.
totally love them.
But you know,
Kim Salmon and the Surrealists.
you might have heard of Painters and Dockers.
My Sex.
Tina Turner.
Yeah,
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, nod to fucking Geordie at Frankie's.
yeah.
My Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's My Sex? Is that one of his? Has he got a new one
Well,
going?
Jordan, they're an old band from the 80s, and Jordan from Frankie's actually plays drums with them now.
Ah.
And I only just found that out recently, and he's like been doing it for a few years. And I was like, man, you're in My Sex. Like, what the fuck? And he's like telling me all these stories about playing with this old legendary
Yeah, 80s
80s
rockers.
rock band.
Rock band.
They're old. They're still going. Yeah.
I'm fat.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Well, fucking thanks heaps for coming in
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
and fucking recording a song with us in the studio and talking shit on the
Always
couch and having a good time.
Thank you, man.
Muchos.
Much
Legendary.
appreciated.
Yes.
We'll see you all next time.
Thanks to you guys too.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Yeah.
Bit of fish and chips.